with the demo tonight, and it's kind of focused on maybe some Christmas decorations. So let's get rocking and rolling with a little bit of tinsel. Who doesn't love tinsel? And a really fun decorative piece that it's going to help sparkle up. This is my dollar store tinsel project. You can see I've got tinsel in there. It's actually a really fun, sparkly project because I couldn't really get away with not doing something sparkly. And that is what I'm going to be demoing tonight. I must preface this with the fact that my demo was about 15 minutes long, and so I actually recorded the craft cam version, and then we cut it down to about 6 minutes. So I just want to preface it with that if you see my hands moving really fast, I'm not on any drugs. I might be taking some Zumba classes along there with Juliana and Tiffany, but it's going to be a really fun little demo for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to rock on over to okay, so the very first thing that you're going to want to do is use your Mod Podge. Mod Podge is a great product to use because it's a clear drying glue, and you're going to want to put that around the rim of the bowl. You don't need to cover the whole thing in Mod Podge. You just need to put it around the rim of the bowl because you need the tinsel to stick mostly to the rim, and it's just going to naturally fall right into the middle of the bowl. So we're just going to be building a nest, essentially, out of this really fun, sparkly tinsel. Once you have completely done the rim and put the tinsel all the way in, then you're going to notice that you have a whole bunch of tinsel built up in the middle, and you just want to sort of spread it as much as possible to the edges so that you don't have bare edges and kind of a really, really built up center. Then what you want to do is just let that rest for about 15 minutes, and then you move on to working on your decorations. What I did was I took some really cute sparkly pipe cleaners from the dollar store as well, and I just zigzagged them and twirled them around. I used about 7 or 8 of the red ones and about 4 of the green ones just for the decoration purposes. I just placed them in. The only golden rule here is just to make sure that everything either goes right up to the edge or it just goes over the edge so that you can cut it later and it just have a really nice clean look. So just place those in there. You'll notice that they'll probably sit just nicely into the tinsel, and the tinsel is going to hang on to that. You probably also want to just check and make sure that your bowl, your outside bowl, your top bowl is going to fit just nicely on top of everything, and you're going to have to squish it down. So just make sure that everything's placed fine before you start doing permanent gluing or anything like that. Just make sure that it looks just good. And once it looks good to you, then warm up your hot glue gun. Your hot glue gun is going to need to be used around the outside of the rim. So we're mostly focusing as much as possible on the outside of this rim because you're going to notice that the top bowl is going to want to pop up because you have all this decoration and you have your tinsel kind of pushing up on it. And so you're going to need to use just a little bit of muscle to push down on the inside of the bowl itself while you're piping in some of your hot glue. And then just press down as firmly as you can, pretty evenly, and then about every 5 to 6 inches do the same thing. So pipe in some hot glue, then push and continue pushing down. You might want to wait about 10 to 15 seconds between piping in your hot glue because you do want it to just dry a little bit and secure itself into place before you move on to the next. And as you start getting around, you'll notice that it's easier and easier to pipe your hot glue in and that the whole project isn't popping up. Then once you get to the end, you'll notice that you're firmly placed into the center there and you're looking good, but you probably have some excess that you're going to want to cut off. So let's cut off the excess just using your regular scissors, including cutting off your pipe cleaners. You're going to want to do that too. Just go through, cut off your pipe cleaners. Don't worry too much about getting it super perfect because you actually are going to take more pipe cleaners to put inside of the gap. You'll notice that there is definitely a gap between the bottom bowl and the top bowl because obviously you have lots of nice fun decorations on the inside there, and you're going to have about a ½ inch gap between the two bowls, and we want to fill that gap with something decorative. I used 3 pipe cleaners, which I tied together, and that was for the green, and then I used 3 pipe cleaners tied together of the silver, and that's just to sort of build up in between that ½ inch gap. And all I did was start piping in more hot glue, and then I just start twirling that around and putting that into the gap all the way around the edge of the whole project, piping in hot glue and pushing in my cute little pipe cleaners. And then once I'm finished with that, I get all the way to the end. I might have a little bit of excess in the pipe cleaners, but if I do, I can just cut that on off, and then we're good to go. And then you have a really fun, sparkled bowl or platter that you can put decorations in. I definitely recommend that you use this for decorations. Probably using something like this for food that you might need to wash isn't the best idea, because it does have some sort of absorbent material. Did you guys like that? 'Cause I found it really nice and sparkly like my hair. And really, if you can find this long tinsel that doesn't come in the bag, absolutely buy as much as you possibly can. This is the final project. I know maybe a few of you had a couple questions. This is squished between 2 bowls. So the materials are 2 bowls from the dollar store. This platter is very, very easy to do. So the flatter you get it, probably the easier it's going to be. But 2 bowls, and then your tinsel, which I just needed about as much as tinsel for this whole bowl, and then your sparkly embellishments, and then you're pretty much good to go. You can do this on so many different things. You can do it on even like little clear cups for, I don't know, a topiary of ornaments or something. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So have fun. The purpose is just to have a really good time. I love how this came out like the craziest Christmas Easter egg looking bowl I've ever seen. I'm going to double it as, oh my gosh, I'm going to double it as a disco Easter bowl. Thanks. I hope you guys have fun with my Goldilocks.